Hello, and welcome to a Forum on Spirituality. Today we are welcoming Phyllis King to the show. Phyllis is known as the Common Sense Psychic because she loves to give practical and down-to-earth advice. Phyllis receives widespread acclaim as a syndicated radio host. She has read over 5,000 people in 20 different countries. She's appeared on CBS TV, NBC TV, and radio programs across the U.S. Phyllis hosts workshops and group reading events regularly, including psychic development courses. She is the author of A Psychic Perspective, 10 Steps to Love, Wealth, and Personal Happiness, and the co-author of Bouncing Back with Dr. Wayne Dyer. Her latest book is The Heart of the Matter, Life Lessons with the Common Sense Psychic. Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, Cheryl.
Welcome to a Forum on Spirituality.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So I know the question you get all the time, but let's explain it to our audience. Common sense psychic. What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, I very much love the spiritual. I love everything intangible, but I also love the physical. I love the practical. I love what's going on in this life that I touch and I smell and I taste. And I like to put the two together and give people very practical ways to interpret the intangible as well as to make the physical experience more benevolent.
That's perfect for the show because that's exactly what we're trying to do here is to really take spiritual concepts and principles and have them be practically applied in our lives. So wonderful. All right, so let's talk about why you've done 5,000 readings with 5,000 people. That's a lot of readings. So talk to me about what's the impetus. Why would someone come to you and consult with you?
People come to me for a wide variety of reasons, and it's changed over the years, but mostly when people have a big decision to make, they have some trauma or difficulty in their life, whether it's a relationship problem, should they change jobs, how do I deal with this certain boss, you know, someone's just died, someone's been murdered, what does that mean? Just any and every possible question that people come across in their life. I don't know if I've seen every question, obviously, but I've seen just an amazing amount of difficulties and problems people bring to me.
And so how does that work for you? Like when somebody's coming to you and wants a reading, what's the experience? Because I certainly love the idea of the experience of asking you for information to make my navigation on this planet easier. But what does it feel like, the information coming through you? What does that feel like?
Well, it's just the most incredible and wonderful experience. I think people are so fascinating and interesting, and I just get so excited to learn about them and what their patterns are and what's holding them back and what can help them. I just find that unbelievably fascinating and fun. So for me, I just can't wait when I get to read someone brand new. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're all about. It's just, but not in a really loving, because I look at them as the essence and the personality. And so whatever's going on in the personality in terms of, oh, you're having an affair, oh, you embezzled, I mean, whatever the issue is, right. I know that there's some God consciousness in there, and what's their potential? And I look at that too, and I get really warmed by that.
And do you get very specific information of past, present, future? Is it different for everyone?
Here's how it works for me. When I first became professional, I began emulating other psychics. And they would say, oh, you're going to give me a name of someone, like my dead grandmother is Emily, or what street do you live on, or any number of, you know, what's my phone number for whatever.
Very good.
And so I started doing that because I wanted to be successful. And I got really good at it. So who's Jenny? You know, and who's Bob? Oh my gosh. And then at that point it's like, so what?
Right.
It just felt like a stimulation that went nowhere. And so at that point I said, what made the difference for me in my life? What made me do better for me? Well, knowing what I'm doing here on the planet kind of helped a little bit. Knowing what my purpose is. And so from that point forward, I began looking at people's, what are they doing here? And I began to discover and learn about life themes and our blueprint, and that we come here with a set of frequencies that we want to learn about, and we create circumstances based on those. So I started reading about soul's purpose, and soul's purpose has remained an integral part of not only my readings, but my work. And so that's the first part of a reading. I always look at what are you doing here? What are you here to evolve beyond, embrace, whatever. And from that point, everyone's impressions just come into me. And then I can look at the finances, I can look at the career, I can look at the relationships, it's all there,
Right.
and understand why everything is happening the way it is. Because it's not just enough for me to say, you're not going to get that job. I want you to know really why you're not or what you can do to make it different.
So it seems like it's very holistic,
I guess you could call it that.
right? That's like because it's the whole picture you're dealing with, not just the
Yes.
specific area that
Yes.
I think is creating suffering that I want it to change, but
Yes.
it's how this area is being informed by really the all of who I am.
Hello. Very nice.
I like
Very
that.
well said.
Well, that's just brilliant. Wonderful. So the first thing, I'd like to see how you define your life purpose. Did you go through your own process with finding that, and has that changed as you become more comfortable with your gifts and talents?
Well, one of my core issues, if you want to call it that, is I'm someone who's in growth. I think I'm here to grow and evolve as a person and as a spirit on a lot of levels. So I've had a lot of challenging circumstances to grow and evolve beyond. I'm here to learn about trust and honor and integrity. Those things are really important to me. And so I've had a lot of opportunities to look at that in different angles and such. So, and I think ultimately my purpose is to help people get connected to their own God consciousness, to say, it's in you. You're God, okay? Get it? You're God. And really help people feel that for themselves. Not just take my word for it, but sort of help lead them through their own quagmire till they go, oh my gosh, Phyllis, I'm divine love and wisdom. Wow.
That must
I
be
get
very
it.
fulfilling.
It is. It is.
All right. And so does everybody who meets you come up to you and say, tell me about me?
There's probably 3 different types. There's the people who come up and say, tell me a reading, give me a reading. And there's people who say, oh my God, does she know what I'm thinking? And then there's people who go, oh my God, I'm scared of her. So, that's basically the 3 categories.
Okay. Well, I'm
Okay.
definitely in the category of give me a reading, give me a reading. So
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Nice.
I am ready.
So the first thing I always do is I look at someone's life themes, what I see you is here to do on the planet. Most people have 2 life themes. That's very standard. Some people have 3. On rare occasion, I see 4. And my lovely Cheryl, you have 3 very strong life themes with the hint of a 4th. So you're one of the very rare birds that has a lot to do here. You want to get 3 PhDs while you're here. 2 won't do. Okay.
Okay. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah. Okay, you've got a couple of things. Let's start with all the positive stuff. And not that any of it's negative, it's just that they present different opportunities for growth.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I'm definitely on that page, so I can handle it all.
Okay. The first thing that's really powerful in your energy, not only are you a good communicator, but you are a leader. Okay. And you have a sense of authority about you. So you are here to learn about authority and how do I guide and how do I lead. That's a very important piece to you. You also have a teacher theme in you that wants to be realized. I don't know if you ever taught school or thought about it. And it doesn't have to be in a traditional setting, but it wants to be realized. You also have a very analytical piece to you. Organization. I bet if I saw your house, it would be neat and tidy. And so you can come over to my house anytime and straighten it up for me. I need help. So it's interesting when I see that mix of humanitarian with this real, very in the box type. So you're in the box, you're out of the box. Which is it, Cheryl? In or out? Okay. So as you combine all those talents and those skills and those things you want to experience, it's an interesting, how do I navigate this experience? Where do I belong? What's right for me? And then the 4th that just wants to come in is very healer, very spiritual, that says, I want to make your life better. So
that's a lot.
And
I
that's
didn't
a lot
ever
of
talk
stuff
about
going
it.
on there.
But there were
So
many
what that
things I didn't talk
translates
about.
to me,
So it wasn't
when
just
I look
this.
at
There
your
were other things.
patterns
So.
over the next couple of years is this. I feel a lonely factor. When you're a queen, it's tough to find kings, right? Or it's not just that, but when you are the most brilliant person in the room, who's going to be brilliant with you? So there's some of that loneliness piece that really is over your energy. How do I feel like I have I'm not lonely anymore? So some of that goes on. And a lot of that, how do I relate to the common people? And I'm not saying that you
Right.
have any bias or prejudice toward people. It's more like, how do I get heard? Who's going to hear me? So again, it goes back to that lonely piece. And then the good stuff, more coming in. I'm watching career space for you for the next 2 years. A lot of turmoil because you're feeling, I want to do this thing over here. Like I'm loving this TV show and my ability to spread messages, and it really warms me. But do I have permission to do that? Can I get out of what pays my bills, or can I make that transition? And will I give myself permission? Because my super analytical, I got to dot my I's, cross my T's is all in place for you. And so I'm watching this really incredible struggle. Like, how do I get my dream, but I have to have my security? Dreams, like they're somehow separate.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? And so that you're facing that conundrum in your life a lot in the next 2 years. Career is going to expand, especially this TV show.
Oh, wonderful to hear.
I love what I watch in this whole environment. So, and you're really feeling your authority again, and you're going, can I not be lonely?
Yeah.
Can I not be lonely and feel my authority? I know I'm a queen. Exactly. So, I mean, that's all really interesting stuff. When I see you at the end of, say, about a year and a half, 18 months, 20 months, right in there, you're considering some things, girl.
Yeah.
You are considering, where do I really need to be? Do I need to make a big change here? And your life could change dramatically at that point, because as soon as you get clarity, as soon as you, Cheryl, say, this is what I'm doing, that analytical piece that knows how to organize, manage, and make things happen kicks in, and you create opportunities for yourself. So, yeah. Very interesting.
All right. Well, that's very interesting you say that. And by the way, I can tell you that everything that you read right there really is spot on. Very spot on. Not that I've actually called myself a queen, but probably I do have a baseball cap that says it.
Like Lady Gaga.
Right.
Yeah,
but with all the different, but my life, the life energies and life purpose that you said, all of those I'm very, very identified with. Like I know they're there. The interesting question I have for you now is that you're saying it's not for a year and a half, and yet I feel like I'm right in the mystery now. I actually am not in a secure place for my income. I've left all that completely, right? And so I've dove full on into the mystery, and am actually in that place of looking forward to create something in this moment. So I'm a little concerned that I'm not going to actually create it for a year and a half. That feels a little...
Well, maybe we're measuring things differently.
Okay.
In terms of, you're in a process.
Right.
And like I should talk to you about gestation period.
Okay.
Because it doesn't, when people talk to me about happiness, am I going to be happy? And I say, well, when I look at you at this period in time, you look very content and peaceful. It doesn't mean that whole other time they're not ever content and peaceful. They don't feel like things are working for them.
Right.
It's just, it is a process. And the natural course of expansion is contraction.
Yes.
Expand, contract, expand, contract. And what I guess I'm looking at in that whole security piece is, will that suck you under again to say, no, I need to do that and go back here. I can't have this dream. But no, I see you expanding. I see the finance piece will be fine. You're going to work it out. It's all good. What I'm saying is the kind of transitions I'm saying, well, will you still be here? Will you be on network TV? Will the show go to network? Or what are we talking about here? Because it's that type of expansion we're looking at.
Like another big level.
Another level.
I love that.
Yes, we love that.
We love expansion.
And of course, the energy here at this station is so incredible. I mean, it's just the intention is really beautiful. Keep that pure and clean, and you're part of that. That it could manifest into something really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear. Wow. So this is, I can definitely see how wonderful it is for you to serve people when they come to you for a reading. I had a friend recently literally write to me in an email saying, how come we don't get the blueprint? I just want to know what the blueprint is, right? And now I can tell her.
Oh, well, funny, some people say they want the blueprint.
Right.
But then they really do. But then to be able to look at it, you do have to step away from your fears. You have to step away from your judgments and say, okay, now that I know, What am I going to do? And I tell you, one of my favorite things is when people are saying, Phyllis, what career do I need to be in?
Yes.
And I'll say, oh, well, you really look like the medical field. I've always wanted to be a nurse. I'm like, well, okay, I give you permission. Go be a nurse. Okay.
I know, right? Because that's what you said for me, as being a teacher, and all of that is exactly what I like to. And I do see myself. I laughingly say the organized piece is the Virgo in me.
Okay.
Right. All right. So do people like if I asked you now, so what do you see that I need to know that can best serve me to really focus on my spiritual path?
Well, I would tell you you're perfect exactly how you are right now. Nothing needs to change about you. That you're just so magnificent. And I would like you to practice just feeling magnificent, that nothing needs to shift or change about that. And, if I was working you within a class or something, I'd say, let's just drop any fear or doubt about finances and money. Let's just, it's money isn't over here and prosperity over here. It's all mixed together. So let's just pull that part out of our soup so we can have a prosperous soup. But you're so fabulous. I just own it and rock that thing.
Well,
I'm all over it.
Well, thank you. I'm just going to have you back every week on the show.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And so I would imagine that most people come to you for the standard, the career, money, love life, right? That's pretty much the three. And so when love life, let's talk about that, because you said you run everything through life purpose, right? So if I ask personally, what do you see in my future as far as finding a partner?
Okay. Well, part of what's going on in your mechanism is there's sort of a belief that says, I guess I'm not going to have one. So we have to sort of extricate that idea so it's not playing out in our space. You have to see how it served you to not have a partner, first and foremost.
Yes.
How has that worked for me? It's worked for me. And then we also want to, and this ties into you, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous, and someone will really appreciate my fabulousness. I don't have to do anything different, change it up, but I have to see you open up a little bit more to it. You feel conditioned to not expect it or have it. So let's open it up and say, I can receive. Start talking to consciousness as if Mr. Wonderful is there right now. Hey, Steve, how's it going? I just got home from work today, and I talked to start having the interaction and ask consciousness, send me the right and perfect partner now. I'm ready to receive. And then really put out the receive. When you're a leader, it's hard to receive. You're always giving. You're always doing. You're always doing it, making it happen. Receive for a change. Like we got our hair and makeup done today. Receive. Turn the receive button on. I'm looking at your pattern, and I see dates are not a problem. You can date if you want to date, but what's in the way of really connecting with that wonderful person? And right now, he's still a little ways out. He's coming after career. He's coming after the transition in about 18 months. So if you want to speed it up, you're going to have to be a little more intentional about it. Really pull it in. But my sense is you're in love with your career right now.
And can I speed that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes. Okay, and
absolutely.
That's probably a good question that people would ask about.
It's just the problem is people think things are separate. So when they say, "Oh, I want the career," but in order to be prosperous, we